Okay, welcome to the Forestry Tomorrow podcast, episode number
6.
6.
Yeah.
Correct. So,
last time we talked a little about exoskeletons.
Yes.
So,
and I have a new name for the
the major topic.
The major topic.
Okay.
I think we should call it the extended feature.
The extended feature. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. So this week's extended feature is building upon the exoskeleton discussed last time.
Yeah. Let's rip out the flesh from the exoskeleton and put in some mechanics and some electronics.
Yeah.
We're going full humanoid now.
All robotics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're going out there. So bear with us.
Are you gonna continue?
No, I'll stop now.
Okay. Yeah. So that's this extended feature. But before we get to the extended feature, we'll do the So
short news.
Yeah, because I haven't really found a name for that one.
No,
but
we can think about that.
Next one, time. Episode 7. So this week we're gonna start in a project in it's actually involving a lot of countries. Where was the list? We have participants from Norway, Sweden, Spain, Finland, and Switzerland, which will they've created a consortium in the EU project. There's actually 14 partners in that consortium.
Oh, a nice project.
Yeah, that's something that the consortium projects and the university stuff that you have some experience with. But it's
I did my PhD in a EU project.
You did?
Yep.
Wow.
Smart C2Net for all.
Yeah, I remember.
For all the readers out there or listeners to Google.
But that was in US, right?
Sorry?
Some of it was in the US.
No partners in the US.
Oh.
I just visited the US during my PhD. No, only European partners.
Okay.
From Italy, Germany, Netherlands, Denmark.
More than 14?
No, only 7 actually. Okay. And that's low in some EU projects. I've been helping writing. Okay, I'll stop. But some of them, there's 50
so
partners.
This week, so this project, not the Rasmus project, it's called the SingleTree project.
Yeah.
And it's located at the Norwegian Institute of Bioeconomic in Ås, Norway.
Nibio.
Yes, exactly.
It's a nice name.
Yeah. So the whole idea of this project is to develop a digital value chain at SingleTree level.
A digital value chain. Okay.
At SingleTree level.
Nice.
To enhance climate change adaptation, forest resilience, multifunctionality, and of course use of woody biomass in precision forestry.
Okay.
So the project will deliver disruptive forest monitoring strategies using AI and remote sensing. That's one. And then adaptive management solution at the SingleTree level. That's 2. And then intelligent machinery for SingleTree operations. That's something that we have looked into.
Yep.
Actually. And enhanced traceability and early prediction of wood quality for optimized biomass supply. So quite interesting topics.
Yeah.
And it's 4 years.
Yeah.
And the grant is 14.3 million Norwegian kroner. Norwegian kroner. I don't know what that is.
You said million?
Yeah.
That's not a lot of money. No, not in these projects. Because I know that the currency of Norwegian kroner is lower than the Danish.
Yeah.
So this sounds like a small project.
I need to get my... Yeah.
And that's split between 14 partners.
Yeah, so it's actually just 1.2 million euro.
Yeah, you can split that in between the 14 partners, and then you have not a lot of money.
Exactly.
Yeah, but just as a PhD cost around 150,000 euros a year.
Yeah.
So if it's
it's
a research project, I can just say there's probably not many PhDs in that research project.
Yeah. So with the 14 million, so that's the, I guess that is the EU part of it, right? The 14 millions, and then there's some self. What's it called in English?
Yeah, self-funding.
Yeah. What would that probably be?
I can remember the EU percentage. If they cover 70% of it's only 50%. I think it's more. I think it's probably 70%. So then you have self-financing. Each partner has some self-financing, and that also differs between universities and commercial partners.
Yeah.
But still, it's not a very big, not research grant wise a big project. But ambitious, it sounds like.
There's actually so we have Nibio, and then we have the Swedish University and the University of Eastern Finland. Universidad de Valladolid.
Spain, yeah.
Yeah, probably right.
Valladolid, yeah.
And then there's some research institutes.
Yeah.
And then the University of Science and Technology in Norway.
Okay, so you also have a lot of, typically in these EU projects, you have a lot of universities in them, and the financing in universities is a bit different than commercial partners. So, is it ETH that's in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very well-known university in Switzerland.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, not at least single-tree.
Yeah,
every
single
years.
tree. 4 years. So we'll keep track of that. See how they progress.
Yeah, and it would actually be interesting if any of you out there listening to this could give some your opinion on, does it make sense to track each individual tree in the value chain? Because the complexity of the information system handling it increases, of course. Mm-hmm. So it'd be nice to know if is it needed? Does it make any sense in reality? Sometimes which university projects also should be a bit far ahead in the future. So let's see.
Yeah, but I actually think it'd be hard to answer that question because let's say this is disruptive.
And then you don't know.
And then you don't know. But
not a lot of disruptive technology from universities, but sometimes.
Yeah. So, but we'll keep an eye on it. So that was SingleTree. The SingleTree project.
Interesting. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah. At least they're capable of doing dancing trees.
Yeah. I saw that. That's actually nice. I wonder if you can just feed in this is from some LiDAR scan. You can see the original figure. If you're gonna feed that into ChatGPT and make it dance.
Created using Meta's animated drawings.
Okay.
So there's also a bit of Facebook in this.
There's always a bit of metaverse.
Yeah.
Why should the trees also look like trees? In the metaverse. Why shouldn't they be dancing in there?
Yeah, and be blue and red and green.
Why not? Yeah. Maybe this is I have a small news. One of the small news here is also, I don't know if it's as much a news, but of course you need some data into all of what you just described. And we have talked about this before, having aerial views via drones or planes or satellites.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if it was episode 1 or 2, we talked about drones. But one of the limitations with these drones, you typically see these quadcopters are, time in the air.
Yeah.
These smaller DJI drones, maybe half an hour, maybe 40 minutes or something of airtime. And that's not a lot if you need to cover a lot of land.
Yeah.
So I stumbled upon this company in Finland. I believe it's called Kelluu. Kelluu, I don't know if I can even pronounce it.
How do you spell it?
Kelluu. So their idea is let's create drones, like air balloons.
Okay.
which kind of makes sense, right? Because there you don't need a lot of. So they stay in the air because of the balloon, of course.
the balloon.
and therefore you don't need to spend as much power keeping it in the air, which you do with a helicopter or quadcopter or a plane even.
Yeah.
It'll just be there, and then it can survey a large area by just moving slowly around it with these sensors on.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of a nice idea to solve one of the issues with using drones, the airtime, and say, okay, now you almost have unlimited airtime. Because you still need batteries changed and so on. You probably slap on some solar cells there or something.
Where's the specs?
I don't know. I don't think they're that far.
Okay.
But because given that it's an autonomous air balloon, you will still have the same issues that you have with any drone. They're not really allowed to fly without someone watching them.
Yeah.
But I think we should do an entire drone special on that. Just the rules about it, because. But at least that's, we like these more high resolution data than we can get from satellites. We can use drones, we could use a plane, but here they're trying to solve it using a hot air balloon.
Quite clever.
Yeah.
Payload of 6 kilos.
Yeah, that's not a lot if you're talking cameras and lidars and so on, but still, you can. This is also, I can imagine at least, you could scale this. Make a bigger balloon,
So they say it's actually ready, and they're currently operating commercial missions.
Ah, great. I don't know how they've solved the whole you need to be visible.
Well, first of all, it's quite big, and it's like chrome.
Yeah, you can probably see it from everywhere.
Very easy to spot.
But I don't know. It's big, but it's not that big. So what if suddenly winds come in? You can see the picture here. It's over mountains or smaller mountains at least.
Yeah.
Where weather typically can change fast. Will it just blow away? I don't know. So there's of course issues still with technology here, with the technology, but
But here it is. Okay, it's actually smaller than I thought.
Yeah, it's way smaller than I also thought. But 6 kilo isn't a lot either. The big ones which you transported people in was really big.
But I really like it. It's quite awesome.
Yeah.
I would just like to have looked at some specs and a price.
Yeah. You can also, in the top of the homepage, they try digital twins. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, what is
that? That makes no sense, because you just get into a form where you can do something. And please, people out there, try not to use this digital twins all the time. It's annoying.
Yeah, so there's actually a news here that says Kelluu made history by using an autonomous airship for the first time in a study of pests that killed spruce forests.
Probably this typography beetle thing.
In October last year.
Okay.
So we need to pay attention to this.
Yeah,
it's actually quite awesome.
Oh yeah, I can see. Yeah. They need the job openings show. Go. They have something called they need
Are you trying to get rid of me?
Airship operations supervisor. Then it says BV loss, which means beyond visual line of sight.
So
in the careers. Yeah, and if you go down in the bottom. Full stack developer for digital twin. I don't know why that's needed.
Airship operations supervisor.
Yeah, why I stumble upon it is BV loss, because I know what that means, and it's a regulatory thing as well. Beyond visual line of sight, and no drones are yet, as far as I know.
Is that a European thing or global thing?
It's at least European. I don't know if it's global.
Okay.
Because it's one of the limiting factors of using drones is that you can't fly them with beyond visual line of sight.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people working on this also from regulatory point of view to try to,
There's also
you can't get the full potential out of autonomy.
Exactly.
You have to look at it all the time.
Yeah.
But I think we should bring in someone who knows more about that than me.
Yeah.
Because we know one, so that'd be interesting.
30 employees founded in 18.
Well, they're growing.
Well done.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, but let's move on.
Yeah, let's go to the
extended feature.
Extended feature.
I was trying to do a nice segue, where I was, utilizing the airship or the like fly into a new subject.
Okay.
But you came, you're faster than me.
You could
So-
also say we are now moving up and taking this from a helicopter perspective.
Yeah. I'm not impressed.
No,
Okay, but anyways, I think you'll be the man to.
yeah. So actually, for this podcast, we know that sometimes we get a bit carried ahead here with the technology as well. But this time we say, let's get carried all the way.
Yeah, let's go deep in the rabbit hole.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just not concern ourselves with anything that has something to do with commercialization or safety or anything like that, and just maybe we'll get a little back to it. But let's just see what is the optimal robot. What is it actually we want to build? If we could just choose, we of course wanted to build a humanoid robot that can do all the things that a human can, so we can get rid of those damn humans.
Yeah.
So
Just stay on the
it's
couch.
all Terminator, Skynet thing now. No, not completely. Because there are companies working on this, and people probably know about that. They would at least hear a lot of it in the news.
Yeah. They've probably seen some yellow robots.
Yeah, are you thinking about what yellow robot?
Isn't the dog yellow?
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, okay, the Spot from Boston Dynamics.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's essentially you have had the Japanese building humanoid robots for years. I can remember like 20 years back, there was humanoid robots from Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe some background story on you.
Yeah, okay, a little.
You're the robot doctor, Dr. Robot.
Yeah, it's a funny thing because I just said I did my PhD in control of power systems. So I'm actually, but I've worked a lot with robots since in my postdoc and so on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think we all wanted to build this. If you could just choose something to build, everyone are doing like robots with wheels because it's easy.
Yeah.
But it's not cool.
No.
They need some legs and be able to jump and
We don't have wheels.
No, and there's a good point to that. Why don't we have wheels? If that's the most optimal or easiest thing?
Yeah.
But it isn't.
No.
Actually, I think in Denmark at least, at Aalborg University, we had the first bipedal, humanoid robot built for very few money compared to these we are going to look into.
Okay.
It never really worked. Probably some student make it walk like 3 steps. They're from our
Yeah. Was it something about it was modeled on a man and then they shifted it towards being modeled on a lady because they had the more feminine walk was better for. Or is that something?
Yeah,
else?
no, you are right. There are something there. Actually, the way humans walk is very little energy demanding. That's why we don't have wheels. And the reason that it is that we actively use that we are unstable, meaning that if you've seen the early...
That's why I'm a fast runner.
Yeah, exactly. And the first humanoid robots, if you've seen those walk, also the ones now, is that what they do is they stand on one leg, I have balance, move the other leg, and then get to balance there. But that's not how humans walk. We actively use that we are not in balance, because then we use the gravity as an energy, so we don't have to. So we just move the one leg before the other. So that's why it's very energy efficient. And actually, I think what it is that the way women walk are more energy efficient than the way men walk. I think there's something like that about it or something.
I don't know if this has anything to do what we're talking about now, but it's actually quite funny. If you look at ultra running, when you go beyond, I think it's like, let's say 200 kilometers or even less, I think. Then the superiority of the male body in terms of strength and speed is actually eliminated. And then it could easily be a woman that was capable of running faster and
that
longer.
kind of supports the whole energy idea. But back to the humanoid robots and so on.
So companies.
Yeah. So you've talked. Well, one that has been talked a lot about, but hasn't really been seen a lot, is the Tesla. They want to build humanoid robots, and the idea is that we want to replace all the again, dirty, dangerous, boring stuff in the assembly lines at Tesla.
Yeah.
So let's and also what Elon's biggest dream is to send these robots into space, right? Let's send some robots before some humans. So they have communicated a lot of development on it, and at the moment you can't find a lot of information on that. I don't know if they've stopped the project or probably going back to basics because this is not easy to do.
No, but as always with Elon, it's close to being fully commercialized.
Yeah, the funny, full self-driving, that's always next year.
But I think at some point in time, this was almost also next year.
Yeah. The communication around it has been really hardcore, but even Elon probably finds out it's not that easy.
Yeah.
And a lot of people probably think that, it's really hard to do the software, all the machine learning, having it do that, reasoning in its surroundings and so on, which is really hard. But one of the most hard parts is actually building the hardware. We as humans are extremely energy efficient.
Yeah.
And if you think about how our muscles work and how they are structured and how they are placed and so on, they are placed so that we get the optimal out of it. It's hard to build because we don't have muscles for robots. No. Some have trying to build it, using air tubes and so on, but it's an extremely complex system. And then you have for each, if you need to build each muscle strain, it becomes extremely complex.
Yeah.
So you typically have motors in each joint, and if you place the motors in the joint, they need to be really strong, and they need to be really responsive, because that's also one of the things we have. We are extremely responsive. So when we walk, for example, we can really quickly fire our muscles, and that's really hard.
Some quicker than other.
Yeah, exactly. This is okay. It's a while now, but I was out running, and there was this one of the on the pavement. There was a little edge which I stumbled my foot into, and I remember thinking at least a couple of times, I'm going to save this.
Yeah,
I'm not going to fall, until I of course fell and scraped my arm and my hand and my leg.
Yeah, but isn't that actually the?
Yeah.
Is that from?
Yeah, it's still there.
But don't. Not too long ago, I also had it on my my chin. Yeah.
So even though we can fire our muscles fast, the older we get, it becomes harder.
Exactly.
So it's just to say that just creating the motors, is really challenging.
So that's the humanoid.
Yeah.
Optimus. It's called Optimus. Yeah. It's called. Then we have the yellow dog.
Yeah, that's from Boston Dynamics. And Boston Dynamics, if you have seen any cool videos, actual cool videos of robots.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's from Boston Dynamics.
Yes.
And have you seen the new updated Atlas?
No.
Atlas is their humanoid robot. But now we're talking. Let's just say it like that. You can see it.
Okay, so that's actually like
this is real.
Okay.
But if you look over on my screen here, you can see this is the newest version of Atlas.
Yeah, so this is like a human being.
Yeah, it looks like, but
lying on the floor.
With all the joints and so on that we have, the arms, legs, and so on. And I was lying flat on the floor, and just look at how it picks itself up. It's freaky.
Yeah, I can't do that.
No. And, now we're talking about really impressive.
Is that real?
That's real.
Okay. So now it's on a flat blue floor in what looks like, I don't know, warehouse.
Yeah.
What can it do?
So I haven't seen any videos of this new version doing any flip-flops and so on. But the older version, which is a bit more bulky and so on, you can see that can do all kind of stuff, lifting and doing like somersaults and all these kinds of, walk on rocks and.
So why is this not in, let's say, in use? Why is this not in the forest
Well, just again,
planting or
Why aren't we actually deploying these robots out doing something? Well, now it's dancing. Sorry.
rabbit hole?
So maybe we need to talk a little about how Boston Dynamics actually came to be. So Boston Dynamics started off as more or less a DARPA project from the US, the US military research. At some point in time, that research group was bought by Google, but they never managed to create any commercial product. Then further down the line, it was sold to SoftBank, which had this huge fund buying all kind of automation and robotic stuff.
Is that in the same time frame that they bought a lot of stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And at some point, they were probably kind of forced to, now you need to make a commercial product. So you can sell these big ones, this Atlas. I don't know. That would be like, I don't know, $1 trillion for one, probably. But they also created these small dog-like robots, also way back before they created these humanoid.
Yeah.
The original idea with the dog-like or horse-like robots was to use the military to carry a lot of stuff, for example. But then they scaled that down to a smaller robot, which is called Spot, which is a commercial product you can buy. We bought 2 of them at the university, and there you can mount stuff on them. And the main idea of a business case for them was to use them for inspection, like on construction sites. Because you can walk upstairs. If you buy the arm, the arm costs like $50,000.
Okay, so that's the arm.
Yeah, then it can open doors and.
Yeah.
But again, you still need to do a lot of programming yourself. You can't just out of the box. You can remote control it.
Okay.
You can do a little bit of obstacle avoidance, a little bit of you can waypoint it places, but you still need to put on a lot of programming and so on.
But how do you program it?
It has an interface for where you can say you can't control the motors, for example, but you can say, okay, go there.
Okay.
In some point.
Okay.
So like a path planner and stuff like that. And you can also, it has cameras. It uses cameras for looking around itself. It has like in the front and on the sides and in the back. And it's really impressive.
That's like me if you, when I talk to my kids.
Yeah.
I also have eyes all those places.
And it's really impressive. And I'll say to you, the first time you stand with it and try to control it, it's freaky.
Okay.
Because again, coming back to the responsiveness of actuators, it really is responsive.
Okay.
But it cost, one cost 500,000 Danish crowns, I believe. So that's like
80,000 euros or 70 or something.
Yeah, I think it's 80 to 85,000 euros for, and that's the base. And if you want more, you begin to pay a lot. Yeah. So they're expensive, right?
They're expensive.
And the application is still a little So I think that mostly they have sold to like universities and I still haven't seen a real commercial utilization of them.
No, but what you're saying is that it's really capable.
Yeah, it is.
Right, and also the Atlas is really capable.
Yeah.
But the amount of resource that has to go into adopting this to some real life scenario, commercial, it's just...
There is still,
There's only universities that can...
At the moment,
they have like the time and the money.
Yeah, time, right. Yeah. There are probably some companies in inspection that use them a little, but I haven't seen a clear, But I also have something from the webpage from Boston Dynamics webpage that really describes this journey from Atlas to a commercial product really well, I think.
Okay.
And so they have their own they have a presentation on it.
Yeah.
So the idea was at one time in Boston Dynamics, we know we can all do all this cool shit. So let's take one of our robots and do like a Segway, wheeled one, 2 legs, and then we can make it move stuff.
Yeah.
Because we know Atlas, we know a lot about how we can control a robot, how we can keep it in balance and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And put a grip on it. That's not that hard. That's been solved by a lot of companies.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the next commercial product.
That looks like Mir.
Exactly. It's just a mobile robot platform with an arm on it. I know it's not just, but again, that's coming from science fiction of someone really having a good time developing to something that you can sell.
But it's almost like a PhD, and then this is like kindergarten.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just that illustrates how far are we with humanoid robots. So we're kind of far with Boston Dynamics. They have done a lot of really crazy, nice stuff.
Yeah.
But from that to a commercial product.
But this Spot robot, the one with the legs, I mean, so when we started, we also fell in love with robotics for forestry, and we want to do like a robot that was capable of pruning stems by itself.
Yeah.
But we quickly discovered, and we knew nothing about forestry at that point in time, that it was just way too complex of an environment.
Yeah, it's actually not that much of pruning a tree. Someone has already done it. But then how do you get from that tree to the next tree?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the moving around.
Yeah.
That's the hard part. But if you look at the Spot robot with the legs and the lightliness, or I don't know.
Yeah.
That, I mean, it looks. It has potential compared to moving around on wheels or tracks, and the heaviness involved in being able to do that.
Yeah, and the how would you call the mother of Spot, which is this called Big Dog, which is a much larger version, but also four-legged. What the idea was that this can walk in the woods. It can walk on uneven surfaces and carry a lot of load, like in military operations.
Yeah.
So yes, the idea of legs here is that you can actually traverse complicated environments much easier, and that's also Spot can walk on stairs.
Yeah.
No wheeled robot can do that. So there are some potential definitely, and where you can have drones, from the above, at least recording data.
Oh yeah.
You could think of like Spot with sensors looking from below.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it can navigate and do obstacle avoidance and so on.
Yeah, it will probably. Yeah, it will most definitely be easier for this to move around in the forest than a flying drone within the, let's say, the sort of stand level.
Yeah. So maybe
agile.
there is some room for this. There's also another four-legged robot called Animal, which is from Switzerland also. ETH, of course, stems from there.
Yeah. But what you're saying is that they'll probably move away from this for more commercial.
But these are, of course, each of these systems. If you take like a Spot, that's the price. Of course, they can earn money on one, but how many can you sell? So the commercial success of robot arms is that you can also sell a lot of them.
Yeah,
they're not that complex, and you can sell a lot of them. Because one thing there's also with the Spot robot and all these complex robots is that maintenance of them. Actually, one of those we got at the university. I don't know if they ever make it work. Sometimes it just fell down.
Okay, crazy.
Yeah, and I don't know why the university wasn't being more mad about it and make them, because they don't actually. At least back then, they didn't have like a service. What's it called? Like a plan for how do you service these robots around the world?
They need an extended SLA.
Yeah. And from a commercial point of view, I guess Boston Dynamics it's not that mature company.
No.
So
okay, awesome.
But yeah, forestry inspection from below maybe for these legged robots.
Surveys.
Yeah, until we have this Atlas version 2. Which can run around the forest and kill all the beetles or something like that.
It's funny because when we talk about the future, and also when people talk about biodiversity and all that kind of stuff, it quickly gets into a talk about what kind of future do you really want.
Yeah.
Also with the whole, flying cars versus tunnels and stuff like that. Do you actually want you out in the woods and it's peaceful and quiet, and then this yellow machine comes by running around
and you can hear it like
I mean,
and that's one. Imagine you go through the forest, and then you to get to a part of the forest, and you have like 50 of these address robots. All of them that like turn their head to look at you.
Yeah, with blue eyes, red eyes, or something like that.
And they are with their chainsaws.
Freaking.
Yeah, it's really freaky. I actually have for my
and then for like last episode, there's a man with the exoskeleton gone bad.
Yeah.
Nah.
My former boss at the university, Thomas, had a good point on this automation, because there was some rich Russian dude, I think, who wanted to automate, home cooking. So instead of you cooking, you bought like this, and these arms made all the food. And he was like, why do you want to automate some of the things that are actually nice to do?
Yeah.
Why can't you automate laundry?
Yeah. But it's the same. I've seen this arm do coffee.
Yeah.
I mean, I like doing my coffee.
Exactly. That's not what we want automated. It's all the boring stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Or dangerous.
You making coffee, can't that be dangerous? Haven't you burned yourself?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Then you're not doing it aggressively enough.
I'm skilled. I'm good at it. Okay, so now we haven't named this scale we talked about last time.
No.
But will we see this in...
Maybe this should be at the far end of the scale, You need something... We should make like a picture of the scale. So this is out in the end, and the passive exoskeletons is way back down in the more...
Yeah, I think you're right.
I mean, maybe a chainsaw, and then this.
But I actually like the idea... to some extent, I like the idea of using this for surveying.
I actually don't know if anyone has done that could be one of the universities in Sweden or Finland or something like that. Could have done a study where instead of having a guy running around with the sensors, why not use one of these and see how far you can get? Again, admittedly, you have a little of issue with battery time here.
Yeah, but we also get back to what we initially talked about. Is it really important?
Yeah.
Because then with this running around and surveying stuff, we are really in the nitty-gritty details.
Yeah. And again, as you said, with this SingleTree, what is it really needed? Is all that information valuable?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No.
I don't fear the robots.
But that's the beauty of the future. No one knows.
Right.
But this has a lot of sensors, and we briefly talked a bit about sensors, and I think we just decided prior to going on the mic that we'll do a couple of episodes on sensors.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. What are the differences between the pros and cons and so on?
Yeah, and also the levels. Like, for instance, we have in Denmark this Faunatonics company for...
measuring biodiversity.
Yeah, and we have sensors for traffic in forestry, just counting...
and all the kind of stuff that can go wrong around it, so yeah.
Yeah. So that's for next episode. I think we'll come up from the rabbit hole.
Yeah, let's do that and make it a little more relevant.
This is relevant. It's the future.
If it ever comes to it, we told you so.
Exactly. Good. Let's say that this was it.
Yeah.
And then we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.